Hey guys, Bukoid here. Hey, I'm going to try to keep this one just a little bit to one or two subjects here. But I do want to show you this, okay? I mentioned it when this happened. Me and Scott spoke about it. We really didn't talk about it a whole lot because it's really not that big of a deal. It was not a big flare, but it did flare, okay? So I don't want people to think that everything is, the sun's not doing anything. That's one of my biggest fears, because then we become complacent. And then we don't look at what we should be looking at because we're assuming that nothing's going on, right? So anybody out there that's looking at this stuff, trying to gauge it or what have you, just know that the sun is doing stuff, okay? If we go look at stereo A, the backside of the sun's doing stuff too. Okay, we don't have a direct view of it, but we have a side view of the sun, guys. Okay, so anything that we see coming off the backside is going to shoot off like it looks like it's going to be going to the left from that satellite. So at the very least, we can say, hey, there is activity happening back there. So we have to think of the sun as a whole, not just when it's facing us. Stuff is going on. Coronal holes are opened up all the time. Okay, that's been a main subject around here. Okay, and it's still happening now. But what I want to show you is this flare. Okay, boom, right there it went. Okay, now listen. That was a sunspot, and it's from solar cycle 25, the new one, the new cycle. We're still seeing stuff from the old cycle too, and I'm not going to go into how we tell the difference between those two, because it's a big conversation, okay? But just know that when we start seeing stuff from solar cycle 25, we can expect that trend to keep up and uptick. In other words, we're going to see an uptick in activity, okay? So just know that that's going to happen. And there's evidence of that all over the place. Now, see right there. See that? Just keep your eye right there on that sunspot. And it did decay back down, and it's no longer a sunspot. It don't show any of the characteristics of it, at least not enough to call it an official sunspot. Right there. See that? That was most definitely a flare. Now, a flare travels at about the speed of light, so it takes it about 8 minutes to get here. Just know that, okay? So if this happened back on the 5th, we're not going to see anything. It's whatever was going to get us already got us. Okay? It's different than a CME, guys. Okay? CME takes 2 to 3, sometimes 4 days to get here, depending on how fast it's moving. It's carrying a lot of mass. Okay? A flare is exactly what it is. Just flares off like that. Okay? They can be very dangerous. Matter of fact, a lot of times they can be more dangerous than a quote unquote CME for that alone, okay? Because they're traveling so fast. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the difference here, okay? But we're going to talk about these coronal holes too. We got more coronal holes. Obviously, you can see them right here. We got some that are directly Earth facing. So by the weekend, guys, we're going to see an uptick in solar wind. So we should start seeing some auroras probably going to pick up. The hits on our magnetosphere is going to definitely react. That will definitely happen, at least at some level. And all the other stuff that we talk about when we're talking about that stuff. Okay? But I wanted to show you that flare because I don't want people to get complacent thinking that nothing at all is going on the sun except for coronal holes, because it's simply not the truth. Okay, now this might not be enough, like I said, to make front page news, because it's not. It's a B-level flare, but it is a flare. It's a simple fact. It's there. So if that was directly Earth facing, we'd most certainly would have seen some effects from that. Okay, we would have seen it on the tools, is what I'm saying. We might not have actually seen physical effects here on the surface, unless some of that made it through or whatever, and it could affect earthquake risks, all those kinds of things, right? But that's why a flare is so dangerous, okay? One of the reasons is because it's traveling so fast. It only takes it 8 minutes to get here versus 2 to 4 days, like a CME. Okay, guys, I got you over at spaceweather.com. This right here, it's a good website, guys. I think everybody should check it out. But as you see here, look over here on the left. Okay, it's showing you 2006 through 2019, the percentage of days that we had a noticeable sunspot from our view, okay? And you can clearly see 11-year pattern, which is a sun cycle, okay? That goes from solar maximum to solar minimum to solar maximum to solar minimum and everything in between. You can clearly see it. You can even just using the type, the font and stuff that they used here, you can see it going like that, okay? So, you know, you go back 11 years from where we're at now, and you're going to see the exact number. Pretty close to the exact number we're seeing, which is right here. 73% back in 2008. Right now, 75%. We're not to the end of the year yet, so that number could go up or down. Just depends, because it is a percentage. So, but you can see, you know, in 2014, we had less than 1 day at any given time of no sunspots. Of sunspots, I mean. Visible sunspots, okay? So that tells you how active it was back then, okay? And again, all that stuff actually helps keep our magnetic field strong, okay? So that's why we get a little bit more concerned even with little flares right now, because we're weaker, because we're not being kept strong by the sun. So it's the same thing I've said before. The sun helps protect us from the sun in that sense. Okay? So, anyway, they actually did a story here on that too, it looks like. But what I want to show you here is the classifications of X-ray solar flares. Okay, that's how they rate them. All right, we can read through here if we want. This tells you the strength and what they would consider damage, or what you would expect these size of flares to do. It's got X, M, and C right there. Guys, go read this. This is very good to read. I'm going to go over it right here a little bit. But again, I said that was a B level flare, right? Well, just so you guys know, B, C, M, and X is usually the ones that you're going to hear about. Okay? Sometimes you don't talk a whole lot about a B flare because they really are. They're not that strong. Okay? Now, there's 9 levels in between each flare. So you'll see a B1, a B2, a B3. Okay? Like we're playing Battleship or something, I guess. I don't know. But it goes up to like B9. And then once it gets to B9, it switches to a C flare. And X is the same way. M and X are the same way. We had a couple M flares a few back, and again, we seen, you know, responses here on the Earth from it, but not huge. You know, the ones that we really are concerned about, guys, are the X flares. Okay. Now, I used to think that that's what all the flares were called, were X flares. That's just what I thought. I didn't know any better. I know better now. Okay, because I've been, you know, researching it, and I've had people like Scott, you know, guide me in that direction to say, hey, go look at this, and this will explain it to you, that kinds of thing. I've been really lucky in that aspect to have him especially help me with that, because I've understood so much more because of it. And because of that, I'm able to bring you guys better information, more accurate information is what I'm saying. So, you know, for that, I'm really grateful for that. And I feel, you know, privileged to be able to bring this stuff to you guys in a way that, you know, is more accurate, just because of the way I've been guided. So, but anyway, as you're looking here, guys, you can see that. Okay, and it tells you exactly what I just said. Okay, I just kind of shortened it down for you so you don't have to read the whole thing. But you can read these. So the X flares are big. They are major events. They can trigger radio blackouts and all kinds of stuff, right? Most of us have heard about the Carrington event. If you guys don't know what that is, just Google it. It was huge. It was way back, guys, over 100 years ago, and it fried all the telegraph wires, okay, basically. So you can imagine anything that's above ground here, if we were to have something like that hit us now, how that would affect our lives. It would be like one big gigantic EMP. It's exactly what it would be. You can say bye-bye to your cars, your phones, all of it, because it's all computer-driven, electronics. So if you don't have like a car from like early 1960s or before, your car's not even going to work because it uses computer, uses electronics to operate. So just so you guys know that. So again, those are the levels, okay? Basically, you can say A, but what you're looking at, how they differentiate between these flares, they're using angstroms, okay? Which is a measure of light, the frequency of the light, okay? So if you guys want to get into that, you could. I would encourage anybody to go read this. I really would. This explains it really, really well, what the classifications of flares are, okay? And again, go check out this website. It's pretty cool. Okay, this is still at spaceweather.com. Okay, they're talking about the solar wind incoming, right? I just now read that, so it's from that coronal hole, guys. Okay, so their estimated time of arrivals between November 10th and 11th, which would put it at this weekend. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. That is coming. It says Arctic sky watchers should be alert for extra bright auroras on those dates, which is true for any solar storm that we're getting. Okay, it increases the chances for auroras. It just does. So, but yeah. Okay, guys, I got you over at Stereo A. Okay, this is the side view. We want to talk about it. Earth's over here. I'm sorry, wrong. Sorry about that. Earth would be over here. Okay, Stereo A is over here looking at the sun, right? So what are we seeing here? See this back here? That's the back side of the sun. This is what I'm trying to show you guys, okay? There's still stuff going on the back side of the sun. So if there's stuff going on any part of the sun, we all have to agree that the sun is still active doing things, okay? Because eventually that will rotate through to us. Now that exact event that's going on over there may not. Coronal holes seem to hold together a little bit better. We do have sunspots that make it all the way around and get us again. That kind of a thing. But again, guys, we're missing tons of data. I just have to say that again. It just bugs the crap out of me, this does. It really does. You see this thing getting kind of bright. Okay, whenever we see that, I usually stop and look, because if it's bright, that means most likely it had an increase of energy, whether it was a flare or maybe a CME getting ready to pop off, that kind of thing. Anytime we see, we'll be looking at this occulter, we'll see it flash behind it, but we really can't see nothing else. If we go look at the other tool, it shows us, right? So, those are the kind of things that I look for, and that's what I want you guys to be able to do, is go look at that and have that same kind of mindset that, hey, maybe I need to look at a different tool to see what that is. Maybe there's actually something there. Maybe it's flashing for a very good reason. Okay? So, given that, but yeah. Hey, I wanted to mention this too. The radiation that we were talking about the other day, Nuclear Emergency Tracking Center. This is a private organization, okay? This isn't something ran by our government, but it's a good tool to go look at. And if people really want to get alerts and stuff, you could buy a subscription to this. I think it's like $20 a year or something like that. And it's really not that much if you are concerned about this. Now, we've seen that big uptick, and that's why I showed it to you before. Evolutionary Energy Arts was showing it, which is what tipped me off to it. I got to give them some credit for that for sure. I didn't even know this even existed. So, what I'm saying here, guys, is that this was down right after they did their live shows and right after I mentioned it too. It went down for like 2 days. It's back up now, okay? And that's, what you can do, guys, if you go over here, you don't have to, have a subscription to this or subscribe to their services. You can hit this animate button right here, okay, and then it'll take you to this, and then you hit it again, and it'll go back like 48 hours, and it'll give you like just the middle of the erode up, okay? You're not going to see the low readings, but it'll give you one capture every hour for like a day or so, okay? So, and also something I want to clarify, I was trying to explain it because I'm still learning this also. Here are the levels that they report on, right? You got level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, basically. That's really what it amounts to, whatever the symbol is that goes with it. Now, you got this RADCON 5 alert. Okay, yes, that's bad. Okay, they send out, and that's usually, they tell you right here that you should probably be taking some sort of precaution or some sort of action when you see that. I thought it was just like almost like an intense, like acute radiation at that moment, and that's why they were setting out those alerts for that. That's not how they do this. Okay, they what they do is if it's over a long period of time. So if that number gets to a certain level and stays there for a period of time, they issue that. Okay, so I just wanted to clarify that, just so people don't freak out if they go over here and look at this and be like, oh my gosh, it's right here in my city, I need to do something, and start freaking out, right? I don't want you guys to do that. I mean, so when I like I said, I'm still learning this one, so I don't really know too much about this particular tool. It's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, you can read through it yourself if you want to, and I tried to explain it the best I could, the best I knew how, and that's why I'm giving a correction right now on what I thought, because I do want to be correct, especially talking about something like this. So I do find it odd, though, that when we had all that radiation hanging around our planet for a couple days, and then those levels started going up, and they started issuing these things, and you could see that where all this yellow and green symbol is, most of that was, orange and yellow, or even red and black. Okay? And it was like that all over the place. So, and then the tool goes down for 2 days. Kind of fishy. I don't know. I ain't trying to say that they shut it down or the government shut it down or whatever. I'm not trying to say anything like that. It just looks odd. That's all I'm going to say right there. I think these guys probably do a pretty good job as far as I can tell. I have no reason to say otherwise. You guys go over and check it out. I really would if I was you guys. I already have. I've dove into it a little bit. I'm not a subscriber yet to it. I may be. I'm not sure yet. But again, go check them out. At least this right here is awesome for us to be able to look at anyway. So. Okay, guys, this right here is something I just thought was interesting. I kind of came across this. That strange sounds, amazing phenomenon around the world. You guys can go to their website and stuff. I'll leave a link. This is something they wrote up, an article, and they're talking about this Hesdalen lights, as I guess is how you pronounce that, and it's over in Norway. Okay, this is something that's been going on for quite a while, and scientists really can't explain it. So I'll just go through this, okay? It says, for decades, locals from this place have been living in an episode of the X-Files, okay? Maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but let's just read. Night after night, they see these lights, guys. But what are they, right? And what they're looking at are these lights. Now, I don't think that this right here was what they seen, okay? I think what they did here is they put like a time lapse and they were just showing everything that it looked like. Okay, because look up here. You see, this is probably what they seen. Alright, not to mention, and then these are the lights they're talking about too. So, you can see how they look like sprites almost. And they're trying to, figure out what they are. A lot of people have looked at this. Okay, let me close that off once it starts up there. Anyway, it says the straight light phenomenon isn't just a couple of, drunken Euro hillbillies. That's kind of funny. Taking pictures of hubcaps. That is kind of funny. Anyway, science confirms that these lights are a real thing, but they don't know what causes them. There's a lot of theories, and we're going to watch a couple of these. But I'm going to play this video here. Actually, we'll read first and then we'll play it. But, a couple of the theories. The valley is actually highly radioactive. That's one of the theories. Again, it says Radon piggybacks on dust particles until it gets up in the atmosphere and decays, producing the lights. Okay, and that's what they say there. Go down here, which this is what I thought was more plausible, just my opinion. It says C-cell battery. It says some scientists think the valley could actually be one enormous C-cell battery. Okay, and when I read this next one, anybody that has been around on this planet for 30 years or more knows what the copper top is, right? Okay, copper top battery, right? Duracell. Now, it says it's been established that one wall, and I get this, guys, of the valley is rich in copper. Okay, in other words, it's got a higher level of copper than what most do on one side, and this is important, and the other side is rich in zinc, which is basically what a battery is. Okay, so basically they're trying to say that the whole valley is acting like a big C-cell battery. Okay, and it stores that energy and then it releases out in some, with what's going on there. Okay, then it just mentions this at the end. It says, okay, it says all it would need is some acid to connect the two sides and some way of charging. Okay. The river at the base of the valley contains sulfuric acid. That's another thing. Okay, it's leached from a nearby sulfur mine. So we're talking like all the elements you need for a battery are here. Okay, and it said, and as for the charge, the theory points out that light activity increases around the time of the aurora borealis. In other words, when we're getting solar storms. Okay. When space weather, okay, this is how this actually explains a lot of stuff to people, because this right here tells you directly how space weather can affect us. They're saying it right here. Okay, the charge it needed was from the aurora borealis, which what are the aurora borealis northern lights caused from? Increased solar wind. Pretty much, most of the time. Charged particles getting shot at us, right? So space weather right there. Then another theory is it goes, and I don't know if I can buy into this one or not, seismic pressure on tectonic plates, and they go into a whole other whatever with this. Let's see here. Phenomenon is anything but supernatural, maybe. Okay, yeah, they're talking about seismic activity causing it. Okay, and then they give you one line down here at the bottom which cracks me up. Says, or the strange glowing lights in the sky of Norway could be super fast alien spaceships. That's all they say about that. They don't even go on to say anything else. Ain't that crazy? But anyway, obviously they probably don't think it's aliens or spaceships or what have you. But out of all those, I think the most plausible is the battery theory there. Just my opinion. And again, all these scientists, they can't figure it out. So what we're going to do, we'll watch this video I told you about, because it's actually pretty cool. I'm going to mute that because they start screaming and all that kind of stuff, and that'd be very annoying. Now, we've seen these kind of lights before, guys, right? Most of us have seen these in a lot of these videos. But what's weird about this particular area is it happens all the time in this area, in this valley. So is that what we're seeing? Is it acting like a C-cell battery? Or could there be some sort of craft up there doing that? I don't know. It's one of those like, what? Okay, we'll look at it again. All right, now they're not showing the rainbow sprite looking things, and those very well could be just sprites because of the way that the contour and space weather hits them. Sprites happen all over the place. Okay, if you guys want to know what a sprite is, I can do a video on that later on. Let me know if you guys want to hear about that. If not, just Google it. It's a pretty simple explanation, but yeah. So go check them out over here, guys. This is Strange Sounds. They actually do quite a few different stories and stuff over here. They report on stuff like this, strange stuff. That's why they name their website this. So, but anyway, guys, keep in mind this weekend we got an increased solar winds coming. You know, don't let your guard down when everybody thinks that the sun's so quiet that it's not doing anything, because the sun is doing stuff. So let's stay on top of that. But anyway, guys, God bless. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.
Meet George Jetson, his boy Elroy, daughter Judy, Jane, his wife. Here she comes, just like an angel. Seems like forever that she's been in my mind. Nothing has changed. She thinks I'm a waste of her time. There she goes. No, she don't know what she's missing. Can't she see I'll never give up the fight? I'll do all I can, 'cause she understands my desire. I've been on the outside looking in. Let me into your heart. Oh, there's nothing WKRP. Got kind of tired of packing and unpacking, town to town, up and down the dial. Maybe you and me were never meant to be. Just maybe think of me once in a while. I'm at WKRP in Cincinnati. Very superstitious, writings on the wall. Very superstitious, letters about to fall. 13-month-old baby broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad love, good things in the past. When you believe in things that you don't understand, and you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Yeah. Very superstition. Wash your face and hands. Rid me of the problem. Do all that you can. Keep me in a dream. Keep me going strong. You don't wanna save me. Sad is my song. When you believe in things you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Yeah. Very superstitious, nothing more to say. Very superstitious, devil's on the way. 13-month-old baby, broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck, the things in your past. When you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. No, no, no.
Who is this superhero? Sarge? No.
Rosemary, the telephone operator? No. Henry, the mild-mannered janitor?
Could be Hong Kong Phooey, number one super guy. Hong Kong Phooey, quicker than the human eye. He's got style, a groovy smile, and a bop that just won't stop. When the going gets rough, he's super tough with a Hong Kong Phooey chop. Chop! Hong Kong Phooey, number one super guy. Hong Kong Phooey, quicker than the human eye. Chicky chong, chicky chong, chicky chacky, chicky chong, chicky wacky, sacky, sacky, and a bow wow wow. Hong Kong Phooey, fanrific.
When it's love you give,
I'll be a man of good faith.
when love you live,
I'll make a stand I won't break.
I'll be the rock you can build on. Yeah, be there when you're old, to have and to hold. When there's love inside, I swear I'll always be strong. And there's a reason why. I'll prove to you we belong. I'll be the wall that protects you. Yeah. From the wind and the rain, from the hurt and the pain. Yeah! Hey! Let's make it all for one and all